crazy, but like I'm an actor here I live in Austin, Texas. So like,
Stop it.
yeah, so like, I teach theater arts at a fine arts academy, but I also, I'm an actor when I'm not on stage or when I'm not teaching in the classroom, I'm performing. But now I started writing, right? I wrote a play like probably in 2017, like
Yeah.
probably a long time ago, but it was like trash and I was like whatever, I let it go. And then,
Yeah.
3 years later, 2020, in the midst of the pandemic, I was
Right.
diagnosed and I was like, well, the good thing is everybody's at home. Nobody can go anywhere. So I
Right.
can't walk. I can't do nothing. And can't nobody see me
Right.
like, you know what I mean, right now when I'm a mess. And so that was
Right.
like the one thing that I could find. But I was like, you should get to write. You should write because you can't do anything else. You can't walk or anything. So I was like, let me just write. But I couldn't write literally. So I was
Right.
let me just like say it on my thing and then
Right.
I'll like fix it whenever I was like voice recording myself, but I wrote a play or whatever
I
and
love
then I
that.
let it go. But I was like, let me someone asked me, I was in an advisory council and they were like,
Uh-huh.
Michelle, I know you were talking about writing a play. Like, do you want to do it for our under construction something? And I was like, yeah, even though I had like 10 pages. I didn't have anything and I don't know why I
Right.
told them yes. But I did it because I was afraid, and I was like, "Just do it, and you can talk about MS." And I didn't know nothing
Yes.
about it. I didn't know anything, and I wrote that
Right.
in it. And I was like, "I'm gonna make it a one-woman thing because my writing is trash. And what if I had actors in it and it's not good writing?" So I was like, "Let me just make it me." And
Right.
so that's where it started. But I was like, that was my like opening to talking about having MS or whatever because
Right.
it was so embarrassing at first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least for me.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No,
I
I
mean,
love that.
that was
I
really what
love it.
happened.
No, that's awesome. And listen, y'all, thank you for
Oh,
tuning
yes.
in. No, you're good. No,
Oh,
thank you for
shoot.
tuning into this week's episode of the Enemy Podcast. This is Alicia, and y'all probably heard that commentary before, but I was like, I love this because I want people to be as honest and as natural and feel as organic as possible. This is Michelle C.T. Alexander. Y'all,
Ooh, yeah.
yes, I am so excited you are here on the podcast. And it's interesting. I didn't tell you this before we hit
Uh-huh.
record, but as you started talking about your background in theater, that's my background as well.
Oh, yes. I love it.
Yeah. And so I was like, stop it. When you were saying this, I was like, this was meant to be. Like this
Wow. Yes, it was.
conversation was meant to be. So for those who are probably like, what the hell is going on, y'all? So
Yes.
Michelle and I not only have a background in theater, but we also have been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis.
Yes.
And these are two things in my life, and I'm pretty sure in your life as well, that have impacted me in ways that I could have never imagined, you know?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, and so all that to say, for you, Michelle, and I ask folks, especially that have been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, what were some of the signs of, of you having MS that you now hindsight think about before your diagnosis? He's like, now that I got the diagnosis, oh, this makes sense.
Yes.
Those things were MS.
Oh my gosh, like, okay, this is crazy, but like I always peeing, like I always had to pee all the
Yes.
time had to pee. Whether I was awake or sleep, I was like, I gotta pee, like all the time. Pee was a thing.
Hmm.
And then like numbness. Like I remember
Yeah.
go like after a workout, working out, feeling good, and then going to my bedroom and then numbness happened in
Yeah.
my arm
Right.
and then my other arm, and I was like, "Yo, what?" Like, I'm numb and like heaviness, and I was like, "Okay." The tingling, that was what really did it, but like, and I wear glasses, and I
Yeah.
guess that affects a lot of people too, like
Yeah.
the eyes, and
Yes.
it never really got me like that, but I've always been like, it was always an eye thing and a
Yeah.
pee thing for me, and a numbness thing. Then I was like, yeah, low key, like what? Those are the signs later that I was like, wow, was that MS or like, nah? To me, I feel like MS sometimes the line is so thin. To
Yes.
me, I'm like, am I tired or is this fatigue? Like I can't tell the
Right.
difference or like what is the difference? Sometimes you can't tell. Am I having a MS flare up moment or is
Right.
this like life happening? Is this life lifing or is it
Right.
both? Like the line is so thin to me. It feels like sometimes, and I've had it for what, 6 years now, not
Yeah.
long, but like,
Yeah.
long enough, I feel like, child.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I don't know. God is good though, I don't know, man. I'm like,
Right.
I don't I feel like getting sick and stuff make you close to God sometimes. It's like, "Look, Lord, look. Alright, let me, lock in real quick because I can't walk." You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing, Lord, like, "Hey, you there? Like, my bad about cussing and stuff." I don't know, That's what it did, in the beginning for me.
Yeah. No, I'm laughing because I feel the same in so many ways because I also struggle with, like, things happening with, like so right now, even, like, right now
Mhm,
as we're talking, I've had
mhm.
this sensation in my arm, my right arm, and it feels like icy hot, and that's just kinda like my
Man.
baseline.
Yes, okay.
And sometimes if I'm really stressed, it's either my arm feels like it's on fire or it feels like
Mm.
someone has thrown a bunch of ice in my arm, and it's like and I can't control it, like, there's
Yeah.
no temperature
Ooh.
regulation with it,
Oh my
right?
gosh, that's so tricky, man. MS
Mhm.
is such a trip, how it gets people different.
Right. Right.
Oh,
And
it
like you were
literally
saying
hits every literal body differently.
and that's the thing, and that's what's so crazy to me, it's like, when we talk about certain things, like, there's certain nuances, like, I did have the numbness for a while, and sometimes I'll
Mhm.
get it every once in a while. The leg thing, like you were saying, but my
Yeah.
mainstay is this icy hot feeling in my arm. It is the
Wow, yeah.
craziest I don't know, and I was laughing because you were like, "Okay, God, like, what are we doing here?" Like like, "Please,
Like,
please
my
help
bad,
me."
like, help me out, like, why me? You know what's so crazy though? Like, people are like, "It's not hereditary, it's not like" you know what I mean? I've heard that
Right.
all this time, right? But what's crazy is my cousin got diagnosed with MS 2 weeks before I did, and
Stop
our
it.
dads are brothers. I was like, "Yo, it's not hereditary? What?"
Right.
But I don't even know, like, I have no idea. Like,
Right.
she lives in Florida, and I, like,
Yeah.
we're not close, but we're close, you know what I mean? But we
Right.
don't hang
Yeah.
out. But that's just so trippy to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
"What?
Yeah.
What is that?" That's crazy, but, like,
Yeah.
literally I don't know how it's affecting her, but I don't think the same. It's
Right.
different. So I'm like,
Right.
What is that?" I don't know, man. It mess, but boy.
And that's the thing, and I think more so now, we're seeing more Black women being
Yes.
diagnosed,
Yes.
and, when I first was diagnosed, because I was diagnosed in 2010, I mean, I heard
Mm.
about these one-offs, right? You heard about
Mhm.
Montel Williams, you heard about Richard Pryor. I think
Mhm.
was it Lena Horne also had it? So there was, like, little
Shut up. I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah,
Woo!
yeah, and so you hear about these people, but it's so far removed from me that it's just like, "What?" Like, I need to see
Yeah.
somebody in real time. Like, I had
Right.
one in-law, she was diagnosed in the '80s, but
Mhm.
then okay, but then there's me in 2010. It's like, what does this mean, right?
Right.
So, I just thought I was on this little island by myself. Meanwhile, my in-law, who is, like, 40 plus, my senior, like, what am I talking
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Yes.
not to say
I
I
feel
couldn't
you.
talk to her, but we were 2 different people and in this
Right.
places, so it's just like, "What?" Um, so, like, I felt like I was on an island, and so for you, when you were diagnosed, did you have, like, supports in place? Like, did you know other people besides your cousin that you told me? Were there other
Yeah.
people you knew about that was like, "Oh, this is a thing that Black people get."
Like, I didn't know honestly, like, when I was diagnosed, like, I found out it's crazy, like, people from my high school had it and stuff. I
Wow.
was like, "Yo, was there something in the water? Like, did we? Because you had it too, but, like, some of
Right.
them were white girls, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? Or, like,
Right.
black girls, it was, like, different, but I read a lot about black people, but when I was in the hospital, I was like that's what I wrote my show about. I was like I was looking up anybody who had it because I didn't know anything about it, and I watched, like,
Right.
probably, like, 5 or 10 minutes of this documentary, it was mad depressing, and I was like, "Nah, I'm not watching this. No." And then I was like, I'm gonna join some support groups, you know?
Right.
Nah, I was like, "Nope, can't do that either." That was sad. People were so sad in those. And I was like,
Yes.
yo, being sad is not gonna help me get better. I don't
That
know.
part.
I don't
That
know if
part.
that's true or not,
No,
but
it
like
is.
I really feel like it was. I was in rehab twice and not for drugs or nothing, but it was for trying to get better. And like
Right.
the first time, man, I healed, quote unquote. I don't know, but like I was able to get out of there in like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
like a month, right? But the second time, man, it was more negative, and
Mhm.
it took me way longer to get better. I had to get out of there. It was like
Right.
prison. It was like prison. And I remember leaving. I was like, I'm getting out today. And the people there were like, don't say that. And I was like, what? This feels like prison. I'm ready to go.
Right.
They had to watch me shit and shower. That was crazy. I was like, this is prison.
Right.
I hated that, and I was like,
Right.
"Yo, this is not how I see myself getting better," and I don't know if I was, like, prideful or what, but I was like, "I refuse to let it define me."
Yes.
So I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to get better. And these support groups sitting here and being sad, y'all. We can't do that. We can't.
Right. Right.
We can. But then you got to, like RuPaul said it, and he was like, you can look at the darkness, but don't stare.
That
Because if
part.
you stare, you're gonna dive into that. And I'm like, yo, thank you, RuPaul. Because
Right.
for real though, I'm like, I can't look at that sadness like that and
Yeah.
just be like, "Oh my god." But I have, like, videos on my phone, it's like, "Oh my god, dude, I remember, dude." I remember, like, not being able to sit up or cross my legs, and there are things that
Yeah.
I still can't do. I'm like, "Yo, I still can't do that," but, like,
Right.
I could do more than I could, which is
Right.
crazy. It's like, yo, you just have to change your mindset. A lot of it is the mind. I don't know. Look at me talking like I know. I don't know.
No, you're spot on. And I always let folks know, like, and it's so funny that you brought this up because I was like, I thought it was just me. And I actually talked to somebody else that we had a conversation about all this. And
Mhm.
the support groups initially, it was just like doom and gloom. I was like, yo, like, are we all just supposed to just be like, just sitting here just talking about all of our ailments and how terrible
Yeah,
MS is and I'm
yes.
never gonna be able to do this anymore, blah, blah. I'm like, I did not come here for like I was at work all day long.
Yeah, dude.
I don't wanna hear this
I
shit.
didn't
Like,
wanna hear it.
you
Nah. It's
know?
like I feel you, but, like, I can't be there with you, right? This is not who I
Right.
am. It wasn't me. I felt like that, but it was like I was by myself. I kinda did it alone, not on
Yeah.
the computer or in a group or whatever. I was like, "I can't. I
Right.
physically can't, and I literally don't want to," you know?
Right. Right. And I feel like you said, it's the mindset. And it's what
Mhm.
I loved about so we're talking about these groups, right, y'all? But we're a part of a group. Let's be serious. We
Yes,
are a
we are.
part of a group.
We are. I'm not gonna lie. That's true, guys.
We're
Okay.
a part of a group on Facebook,
Yes,
but
we
it's
are.
it's
That's
but
how
it's
we
black
met.
folks
But it is, okay? Who
and
understand.
who also understand that there's joy beyond this disease. Like
There is.
there's hope beyond, us having certain situations. And I think that's just like, and I don't know, let me know what you think, but I think also with like black people in general, like
Mhm.
we are constantly met with adversity. And so it's
Oh,
like, okay, here this is. Okay, of course,
yeah, what
MS,
else?
fine. But what
Alright.
else, right? But I'm still going to do the best I can to live the best life I can. I can't
Yes.
let this stop me from being my best self. You know what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying?
the truth. But still I rise. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say that so bad, man. Okay, but it's true though, man. I feel like you gotta get up. But that's so real. Being black, I feel like God was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make you a girl. I'm gonna make you black,
Right.
and I'm gonna give you a mess too. Like, can you handle that? You can
Right.
handle that." And I'm like, "Me, Lord, like me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm late on my car insurance. I gotta get that. I gotta pay that today after this. But and I gotta do my taxes. We got 3 days, Lord. Like,
Girl,
help."
girl, that's what we're
I'm
doing
like,
today. Oh
you
my
know what I'm saying?
god.
You know what I'm saying? Golly, I gotta
Yes.
lock in after this. I'm like,
Right.
okay. Oh, so I'm like, okay, so you want to give me MS? And like, man, I don't know. I just thinking about, okay, you know what's even crazier?
Mhm.
A year ago, I was dating someone, he died. He died
Oh, I'm
driving my
sorry.
car. He was on his way to pick me up from
Yeah.
work. And he never made it, obviously. I had to
Right.
take an Uber home that day. But like
No.
crazy though. So I'm
Right.
like, okay, so MS, and then that too, Lord. So I'm like, what else, dude? So I
Right.
just feel like that's crazy that I have this MS and I'm going through all of that. And I'm like, dude, you're a strong girl. Like
Yeah.
you're stronger than you might feel or look or think.
Right.
But dude, like you handled that. You're handling that. And that's
Right.
crazy to me. It really is.
No,
So I'm
and
like,
it's amazing because it's like when you especially when you start thinking about when you first were diagnosed. And that's something I want to ask.
yes.
Like when you were first diagnosed and now to now, like you see yourself back then, like the Michelle then versus now. Are
Hmm.
you surprised? I mean, obviously I feel like you are, but are you just shocked
Yeah.
at who you are and how you've like evolved since that
I
first
am
time?
shocked. I truly am shocked because I just remember it was during the pandemic. So like
Yeah.
nobody was at work. Nobody was working or
Right.
we were working, but like from home or something. Everything was weird. So like everybody it was weird time. And I just
Right.
feel like, I don't know, like I just remember not being able to, like, open stuff, like, do stuff and
Yes.
feeling like, "What's happening?" And I was living at home with my mom and dad, like, I thank God now about it. At the time, I was
Yeah.
like, "Man, I'm too grown for this. Like, I don't need to be living
Right.
at home with my parents." But, like, then the pandemic
Right.
happened, and I was like, "Low key, yo, I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm at their house. I'm glad I'm at my parents' house." You know what I mean? It
Thank
worked out,
you.
and then I got sick, and I was like, "Lord, look, Lord, thank you." So I
Right.
feel like it all kinda worked out in its way, and it
Right.
honestly brought me back to Christ because I wasn't there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I feel like that's what really was the starting point, and I was like, "It took MS, you had to give me MS though to get me back? Dude,
Right.
I'm here, I'm
Right.
here, you don't have to do that, I can like, help me to walk." But,
Right.
like, I really thought it just taught me, accountability, which is something I'm still working on. Like, I
Right.
feel like holding myself more accountable and, like, being more responsible, I think happened after not after, but, like, I noticed it more
Right.
with MS. So like having it is like, dude, sometimes I live life and it's like, oh yeah, I forget, which is a
Yeah.
blessing because, sometimes, okay, my hands are still like tingling. It's not like
Right.
some things are gone, but it doesn't take over my mind like
Yeah.
it was. It was like
Right.
all that I thought about. And now I'm thinking
Mm.
about other struggles, which is a blessing to choose to have other struggles to think about. I feel like
Right. Right.
that's a blessing. I don't know how to explain that, but yeah.
No, that makes sense because it's like 'cause it takes me back to, like, what we were talking about with these groups, because it's like you get so focused on all your little problems with
Yeah.
MS, and then it's
Mhm.
like, but there are other things that are going on in the world, which, like you said,
Mhm.
it helps you with just being accountable and just, like, recognizing that there's other things happening in life. You
Mhm.
know what I'm
That are
saying?
bigger than me, like, bigger than
Yes.
who I am and what I'm going through, but it's kinda true. I'm like, "Okay." People are like, You're showing so much grace with this," but it's like, what else am I supposed to do, though? I
Right.
have to have great like, I don't know. I feel like I don't I just it's taught me like, okay, to like not like I feel like because I'm a Gemini, I don't know, but like I feel like I can find a joke in like any trauma or any struggle. It's a
Right.
it's a traumedy my life is. And I just feel like that's what I be doing. Everything is like, in the darkness, there's always like joy. You can just look, you have to find it. And it's hard
Right.
to find sometimes, but I just feel like MS has told me like that is, I guess, the baseline of life is like you have MS, but this is happening too, and that's happening too.
Right.
But don't forget you got this. It's like you're on your
Right.
period, but you also have
Right.
MS.
Right.
It's like
Exactly.
so much of life is happening, but hey, you're at a red light too, and you're bleeding, and you're on your period, and whatever, MS, whatever. There's so much, but it's like you still have to find the joy. That's crazy. Life is
Right.
crazy. So just be accountable. I don't know.
No, but I love that, and I feel like I said, there needs to be more of that in the world, like, just more, like, finding the joy because the shit's gonna be there, like, it's not going
Yeah,
anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not. Yeah,
it's there, and it's like no
it's
matter
there.
what, it's like either you sit in that and all that negativity or you know, "Okay, it's still there, but there are other things that I wanna do," and I
Yeah,
love that spirit about you.
till you rise.
Yeah, she's like,
It's
"Still
true.
I."
You rise
Right,
above all the hate. I've been watching a lot of Housewives of Atlanta right now. I'm going back and watching it because it's a new season. I don't know. I'm just watching the old stuff, and so I'm thinking like rise above all that hate. It's a Candy man. Look, okay, okay. I'm sorry. It's just I have to find the joy some way. I was like, all right, Housewives. I don't know. It's ridiculous. They're ridiculous, but I'm just thinking whenever I feel sad or down, sometimes you gotta watch people with so much more than you have, like, they're
right,
looking for troubles. It's like, "What are y'all sad about? Y'all got money,
right.
though. Do you have MS? Probably not." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Probably not. What y'all mad about over there? Y'all better calm down. Calm down, guys. I
Right.
don't know.
I love
So,
that.
I'm going on a rabbit hole. What were
No,
we talking about? I'm
no,
sorry.
no, you're good. No, you're totally fine. I love this. It's totally fine. But no, I was gonna ask, are you
Uh-huh.
currently right now, are you taking any medication for your MS?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm taking Ocrevus.
Okay.
And it's just funny because all the when you're in the hospital, you see all those commercials all the time. And I
Right.
was like, ugh. I tried to do Mavenclad because it was
Uh-huh.
a pill and I was afraid of like getting injections. And they were
Right.
like, hey, you have to take like an injection and see how that works before we can try Mavenclad. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
dang, man. So I couldn't do it. So I was
Right.
like, okay, let's do Ocrevus. And
Right.
so that was cool. And that's been working. Like
Oh,
it's
good.
stops or slows the progression. And I think it's doing that.
Right.
I mean, I feel all right. So but the first time it was a long process, and now it's like probably 3 or 4 hours, and they come to my house, and they just do it here, and then they leave. and that's it.
Right.
But I try to schedule it, like, in the evenings or on the weekends because 'cause I'm a
Right.
teacher, and I'm like, missing work is, like, stressful sometimes. I
Right.
would rather be in the class than have to find a sub and, sub plans that they don't do. So I'm like,
Right.
"Let me just be there." But, like, I'm like, "Come to my house," and they'll come over and give me that injection.
So you have, like, visiting nurses that come. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
they'll just
Okay.
come, like, at first it was I had to go to an infusion center. It was with
Right.
other people getting infusions for whatever else, like, all kinds
Right.
of stuff, and then I changed insurances, and I had to go to a place where it was just, like, in a center, but it was, like, one-on-one, so I was doing that for a while, and then my insurance changed again because I was
Right.
changing teaching jobs.
Okay.
And so it changed to where they would come to my house, and now they come over and just do it at home, which is cool. It's just more convenient for me. I'm like, "All right,
Right.
just come to my house, child. I'll be at the house. I'm probably watching Housewives, so come on over." And they will,
I
and they
love
just
that.
sit here and they do it, and then they head out. It's chill. There's
Yeah.
stuff on top of my fridge, so I'm like, "Let me
Okay.
just keep it in the fridge. It's chill."
And do you have any side effects from the medicine at all, or
The only thing is probably, like, allergy, like, they'll give me Benadryl and
okay.
sometimes and I don't know, like, they'll give me that, like, say they give me this the steroid, I don't or whatever they put I don't even know all the things, okay? I
Right.
should,
That's all
but
good.
they give it to me, and sometimes I'll have, like, an allergic reaction, but that's, like, like, my eyes will get runny or my
Right.
nose, and that's, like, and they'll give me Benadryl, and then I'll pass out, like, and then it's over.
And then it's over. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's really a chill situation, at least for
Okay.
me,
Right.
I haven't had any side effects, so
And that's good. And that's like the perfect scenario because sometimes there you hear about folks who
yes.
have like
Oh, I
pretty
hear about
serious.
it and it scares
Yeah.
me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I just, so far that's the only one that I've tried. I've only been on Ocrevus. I haven't done anything else. But
Right.
like my cousin has been telling me, or at least in the past, like different stuff that they were going through, and I was like, oh my gosh, like
Right.
because it was just hitting me differently. So I was like, I don't know, like
Right.
it was like I don't know, it was very heavy in the beginning, like what
Yeah.
I was feeling. Oh,
Right.
it was real bad. I was very constipated a lot.
Okay.
But I'm dating someone now who was like told me about this medicine called lubiprostone, and it's
Okay.
like a poop medicine. Man,
Uh-huh.
I tell you what, it changed me. I'm a new woman now.
He's like,
I'm just saying. But he hooked me up with that, and I was like, okay, that's how you know we talking about poop together. Hey,
this is meant to be.
yeah,
Like
it was meant to be because like you didn't have to recommend that. You didn't have to do that. You had to say that.
right.
But you did, and it's working. So I'm like, okay, because that was really like a side effect, I think, of it. I guess having a mess or taking that medicine,
Yeah.
you get stopped up.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't even know that it was a big deal till you're in the hospital and they're asking
Yeah.
you, like, when's the last time you had a BM? And you're
Right.
like, and they're like, when you have to say, that's a long time. I'm
right.
like, okay, so I didn't even know. It's like, gosh, so you learn a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I learned so much about MS. You were talking about how your podcast is about eating or
Right.
is about eating. Have you heard of Dr. Terry Walls?
No. Now who is
Okay,
this?
that's who changed me. Dr. Terry Walls, the Walls Protocol. I was
Oh, the Walls Protocol. Yes, 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 yes.
yes. I mean, I was like, man, I was in the hospital a couple times for MS, and the first
Right.
time I had the book and it was like huge, thick as a Bible. I was like,
Right.
I'm not reading that. You know what I
Right.
mean? But the second time I was there, I was like, I'll get the audio version and I'll
Right.
listen to it.
Yeah.
And man, it was so good. And so I got home, of course, I'm not at work or whatever, and I'm just Googling stuff about it, like people like you and me who are like eating pizza or like normal food and they
Right.
changed what they were eating
Yeah.
because they couldn't walk or they were having symptoms, MS symptoms.
Right.
And man, they changed I was like, let me just read about it. All right, let me just like buy a couple things. And
Yeah.
I started changing. Man, next thing you know, I'm moving and grooving. I'm
Yep.
like, what? So just changing the way you eat food can change a lot.
Yeah.
And that really was what it was. And I was like, man, people say that. But it really was helpful. I was like kombucha or whatever. I was
That's my
like all about
bestie.
fermented foods like
Yeah.
pineapple. Man, I don't know. I just went down this rabbit hole of like
Yeah.
trying to change the way that I was eating.
Yeah. No, I
And that
love
really
that.
helped. Dr.
And
Terry Walls.
Terry Walls, yeah. And the thing is, like, when I was diagnosed with MS, a family friend of mine, she
Uh-huh.
also she's a pretty severe case of MS, but she went
Mm.
vegan
Ooh,
and it changed her life. Like,
wow.
and so after I got my diagnosis, my sister was like, "Oh, so and so's diagnosed with MS as well, and they changed their diet. They're vegan, and they're living a pretty good life." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Well, I'll look into it because I need something." Because at the time,
Yes.
what was it? Which side was it? Oh, my left side of my body, it was like I had a stroke. I could barely lift
Yes.
my arm. Couldn't
Me,
right.
yes.
Yes,
On
right.
my right side.
Yeah.
Oh,
And so it
yeah.
was bad. So I was like, "Okay, let me just try this and see." And once I really started, you know, full on being vegan, I just started seeing results happening quickly. And it was
Wow,
just
it's
like, "Oh my
amazing.
God." Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. It really is. Just
Yeah.
changing what you eat, man. That's crazy. I was like, you kidding me? You mean they
No.
giving us poison sometimes, maybe? I don't
Listen.
know. You know what I mean?
Listen.
'Cause I'm like, yo, I don't know. 'Cause I don't know. I mean, it took me getting sick to see. Like,
Yeah.
I know that the sicker you are, the more money people make. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I refuse. And I just know this doctor, she had MS. She was like, it was real bad, and they were giving me medicine that just wasn't helping. And so I was like,
Right.
let me just figure this out. I'm a doctor. She
Right.
just doctored it up with some foods, like natural remedies. And then
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
of a sudden she's better. And I'm
She's
like,
better.
shut up.
Yep.
Let me do it. Let me try. I mean,
Yeah.
on a budget, because I don't know, but I did what I could, right?
But this is the thing. When I was diagnosed with MS, I was in nursing school,
Mhm.
broke, single mom, food stamps, welfare. I was collecting all the things.
Okay.
And I was like, "Okay, but there's a way that I can figure out how to do this vegan thing." 'Cause I mean, you would see these prices on stuff, it's like, "I can't afford this shit. Like, what is happening?"
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
but
Ooh.
there are ways to do it. Trust me.
Yes.
Trust
Oh,
me. There are ways to
yes.
do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you will
Yeah.
figure it out. Oh
Yeah.
man, I tell you what, I did. I was like, okay, you can make this work. And
Yeah.
you find like you dating people now, and it's like the way you grocery shop, everything is just different for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't need all this and that. I know, but
Right.
I don't need it all because I know
Right.
it's gonna help my body or whatever. I don't know, but it took that. It took me being sick or whatever and like having to slow down. And I think that was
Yeah.
like a message from God because I'd be
Yeah.
moving and
Yes.
he was trying to get me to you literally can't walk right now. You have
Right.
to. You have to ask for help because I have a lot of pride. So I was like, "Mommy, can you cut my meat?" And I'm a grown woman. I'm
Right.
like, "Can you cut my meat or tie my shoes?" There was just stuff I
Right.
couldn't do anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do it now, but like I was
Right.
teaching second grade and my students would be like, "Miss Alexander, can you tie my?" No, you better go ask the shoe ninja. It ain't gonna be me today. I can't. I cannot help you, sir. You know what I
Right.
mean? So that kind of stuff was crazy. But I was like, you have to learn how to ask for help, man.
Yeah.
That was hard. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, MS. So that's what it took. It took me being sick like that to be like, okay, swallow your pride and ask for help, girl.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
No, I totally
yes,
understand that, and that's something that, like, that just hit me hard because I have always been someone who is just self-sufficient. I don't need anybody. I got this. And this actual disease, basically woke me up to, okay, you need to actually ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. There's nothing wrong
yes.
with that. So that's
Ooh,
changed me in many ways, even like career wise, and like, you know what I'm saying?
oh,
Because even with that, it was kind of like I'll figure things out on my own. I don't need to ask anybody anything. But it's like, no, Alicia, that's why people are around you. They're here to,
yes.
that people can help. There are some people that are gonna, try to like, put the kibosh on whatever you're doing.
Yep,
But there
yep,
are people
yep.
who are willing to help, and it
Mm-hmm.
it did. MS was one of those things that helped me realize that.
Like, hey, open your eyes and people, yeah, get that help, girl.
Yes, for
Yes,
sure, for sure.
yes.
So you're teaching are you teaching 2nd grade still?
No, I'm teaching middle school now,
Oh my
6th through
gosh.
8th graders.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
God bless you. Middle school
I
is rough.
Middle school is rough, especially in 2026, man. It's crazy. And like it's crazy because phones are like not allowed at school or
Okay.
smartwatches and stuff.
Right.
That doesn't stop them. You know what I mean? They
Right.
still bring them, but it's crazy. I teach theater arts and it's me,
I
Miss
love it.
Alexander. So it's like I teach tech theater and musical theater
Oh, I love that.
and theater arts, and it's intense. It's
Yeah.
intense, but it's awesome. Like it's a cool situation to be in. But I was like, okay, that's the Lord because
Yeah.
having someone, like, die, and I was teaching middle school in another,
Yeah.
district, and I was like, "I'm done with this. I don't wanna
Right.
do this. This is not for me. It's obviously death, like, in
Right.
darkness. This is not what I want." And then
Right.
I feel like God was like, "But you're gonna get it, though. I'm still giving it to you because you have
Right.
more to learn." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Ugh." But here I am doing it, and it's hard, but
Yeah.
I'm doing it. I'm like, "Okay, Lord." So I don't know, but it's a cool thing to tell people, like, I get to teach that, like, that's a cool thing.
That is so cool. Let me tell you something. My theater teacher, he and I are still close to this
Oh,
day
yes.
because I feel like that type of education, when you are gifted, and I feel like it's a gift, when you are gifted someone who is passionate about something like theater or
Mhm.
performing arts, it changes you in ways where your confidence and your ability to like, you know, I feel like even critical thinking because you're constantly in a
Yes.
space of like, okay, how is this character? How do I portray this character? What's the background of this character? Whatever. And
Yes.
even down to the theater, uh what's the other thing that you were saying? And I'm this is my
Ooh, I
MS
don't know.
brain. Like, because you said it's like the
It's mine
theater
too. I'm like, "What?"
production stuff. Oh
Oh,
gosh.
musical theater, tech theater?
Tech theater. The tech.
Technical. Yeah.
Tech is crazy.
Yeah, man, that is crazy.
You
It's
know,
crazy to teach about it. It's crazy.
yeah, but it gives you it's like another skill that you can put,
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
like, you don't have to be on stage because the tech crew is like important. There would be no show without you guys. It
right,
wouldn't. How can you have a costume or lights or
right,
sound or a prop or a set in general without you
right,
guys helping make it and create it? So
right.
that's what we're learning about. Right now we're learning about stitching.
Oh,
You
I
got
love it.
you got to, you know, quick changes. What's more important? Like quick, so doing something quickly or neatly, and
Yeah,
it depends. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it's like that's what we're talking about, and we're just trying to do it in class. Some of these kids have never, and some of these
yeah,
kids are like, "Oh, I sew at the house," like it's nothing. So
right,
it's cool to see their skills. And
yeah,
it's middle school, but it's a fine arts academy. So I'll be like, "Let's do it." You know?
yes.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I love that. Michelle,
yeah.
you are the bomb. Thank you
Hey,
so
you are the
much.
bomb. This was awesome. This was
Oh my
so
god.
cool.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. You have to come back. This was great. I'm
Oh,
serious.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ah, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for just being a light on this Sunday. I'm
Oh,
serious.
yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And y'all, thank you for listening to this week's episode
Yes,
of the
thank
Eat Me
you,
Pie.
guys.
Yes, right? Thank you
I'm on
for
thank
listening.
you.
Say thank you. I've arrived. Thank you. Hello. I love it.
Oh, I'm so dramatic. I
No,
can't help that.
listen, you're in good company. I'm just as dramatic.
Yes,
Seriously.
yes.
But thank y'all for listening to this week's episode of the Eat Me Podcast. I'll see y'all next week. This was amazing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you too.